For joining us in this live session. We'll begin with American Virtual Cloud Technologies Inc. We can see that some news came out as at the close of the session of the 7th of April 2021. The news was that it says here some of the stocks moving in the after hours trading that included there wasn't any news, that wasn't exactly, just it was one of the stocks moving. Okay, this is also post market. It says there has American Virtual Cloud Technologies said it has received a proposal to acquire all of its shares for about $9 each. The company said its board has kicked off a process to explore, review and evaluate a range of potential strategic alternatives, including the unsolicited, non-binding bid, according to a statement late Wednesday. The board plans to hire a financial advisor to advise in this process, which is not subject to a predetermined timetable. So let's just quickly have a look and see where Avct is. So currently we're looking at SOS. Avct. If you just joined us, thanks for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Avct is currently up 35.11%. Okay, let's see if we have anybody there now. Okay, we have one person. Thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks for join us. So we are currently looking at Avct, that is American Virtual Cloud Technologies Inc. It's currently up 35%. It says the readout here says American Avct appears to be consolidating within a longer term uptrend. Shares are presently above the 200-day moving average, which is rising along with the 10-day moving average. However, the average directional index or ADX is below 20, indicating that shares have exhibited sideways movement recently. It is also lagging the S&P 500. Momentum for Avct is improving. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors begin to purchase shares. The unbalanced volume indicator is bearish. The slope of the indicators is negative and suggests that there is a lack of buying interest. So we will just quickly move on from there and go back and see what's going on live. So it's currently up 35.80%, but all in all as well, during this whole pre-market session, it has just been moving sideways. This extension occurred in the post-market of the 7th of April, so it has carried on because it closed that session at $5.81, so we are now looking at $7.89 as its current price. So we'll just go ahead and look at the next one. VeryCT Inc. is currently up 44.04%. I believe, okay, this extension probably happened in the post market as well. Okay, and what we're looking at right now, a price of $14.49, wasn't actually the highest. At some point it reached $16.81. So this pre-market has had some activity as well, has had some extension occurring. So we can see that extended to $16.79 at some point. So VeryCT, it's just slightly down 43.14% right now. So let's see if we can get any news concerning VeryCT. If you're there, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. So I think about 1.4 million shares have crossed the tape so far in this pre-market session. Okay, so and yesterday also the 7th of April, it was also quite active. It has a market cap of $149.6 million 14.875 million shares outstanding. We'll have a look and see what's going on with. Okay, there's some buzz. Okay, I don't think this is going to be any news. Not really any news. It's just one of the stocks on the move, just pointing us to the direction that some stocks are on the move. And it says, yeah, okay, VeriCity Inc. up 47.47. Okay, so that's all it said. That's all, nothing else. So the trend analysis is that VeriCity appears to be consolidating within a longer term uptrend, although it's the ADX, or average directional index, is below 20, indicating that shares have exhibited sideways movement recently. Both the 200 and 10-day moving averages are falling, which implies that the overall trend is lower. Comparative relative strength analysis shows it's lagging the S&P 500. So let's look at the 10-day and the 200-day. Okay, that's the 10-day here, and that's the 200-day, this yellow or orange one. They are both bearish, so it's all bearish all the way. But currently we are looking at a 40% gain now. So the price is currently at $14. So all that has changed now. All that has changed. So just at the close of that session, all along, as all the way back to the 6th of April, this stock was clearly presenting a buying opportunity. And if there isn't any news behind this move, then we can just simply say that, amongst other things, that market participants have just taken advantage of the dip that occurred, that has been in place since, when was this? All the way back from this dip in the price began as at the, let's get the date, as at the 30th of March. Yes, that is what we are looking at. So it's been in place for some time. Maybe a deep-pocketed market participants now just suddenly bumped into the stock and put his money or her money, and up it went. So because we can't currently find any news behind the stock, all we know is that currently, because what we are looking at right now is how it closed as at the end of the 7th of April, which was the last trading session yesterday. At that time, it was clearly a very good buy the deep opportunity. So that has occurred. That opportunity has been taken up. So it's currently up 40. What are we looking at right now? 40.36%. Momentum for VeriCity is improving. The 14-period stochastic oscillator is rising as investors begin to purchase shares. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. Okay, so we can see that. Okay, well, yeah, we can clearly see that the slope is upwardly inclined. Yeah, so VeriCity is still up 40.36%. So we'll just have a look and look at Iwmp, which is Immp Limited, up 15.41%. Was actually higher than what it is right now. It has since retraced and been moving sideways for some minutes now. Yeah, moving sideways, yes. Currently it's MACD is below the signal line because the stock is below that 10-day trend line. So, but all in all, it's indicating that the stock is very much rather, the MACD is not pointing to any direction. It's just very much neutral, just moving sideways. But the stock is getting some resistance from that 10-day trend line, so it's currently up 15.72%. There might be some news behind Immp. Let's see if we can find any news. If you're there, thank you very, very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. You can leave us a question. You can provide us a stock to look at, so we'll see how it goes. Immp Limited. So there's some news here. It says Immp achieves fast track designation from US FDA for EFTI, a soluble LAG3 protein in first-line recurrent metastatic head and neck cancer. So that is pretty much what is behind this move we are looking at right now. So down here says Immp appears to be in a strong bullish trend. Its 200-day moving average is upward sloping. The MACD histogram is above zero. Comparative relative strength analysis shows the issue is outperforming the S&P 500. Momentum for Iwmp is strongly bullish. The 14-period slow stochastic oscillator is rising as investors pay high prices for shares. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. So Immp is up 16.04%. It has broken through that 10-day trend line, and the MACD is also trying to break through its signal line. Momentum is also looking up gradually. So we'll have a look at SOS. SOS was up during the last session, so it's currently down 6.23% right now. Even though it is down 6.236%, we can still see that it is trading at a premium to all of those trend lines, all of its trend lines currently. So it's quite bullish at the moment. It's just this loss we're looking at is a retracement from its previous high from the last session. So yeah, that's what's going on. Yes, obviously there's some news. SOS has a case against it on behalf of its has a case against that by its investors. They're being accused of fraud, and the likes of Hindenburg Research. These guys are well-known short sellers. They have they brought a case against them. That they have a lot of scams surrounding them. It says here, you can see that. Yes, that's the news. It says 3 short seller Hindenburg takes aim at Chinese crypto firm eBank shares slump. It's correct to remove reference to Clover Health in paragraph. So this was yesterday. Short seller Hindenburg Research on Tuesday said it had taken a short position on eBank International, sending the Chinese Bitcoin mining machine producer shares down 12%. eBank claims to be leading Bitcoin mining machine producer, yet our research indicates extraordinary claims is backed by no evidence, the short seller said. eBank released its final miner in May 2019 and has since been in sales has since seen its sales dwindle to near zero, delivering only 6,000 total miners in first half of 2020. Short sellers sell borrowed shares. Okay, yeah, yes. So, but they're not talking about SOS here. Okay, yes, okay. Hindenburg, which went short on another Chinese blockchain company, Sos Limited, in February, said its research revealed that instead of using capital proceeds to develop its business, eBank directed much of the cash out of the company through a series of opaque deals, which insiders were questionable parties. Okay, so they have not addressed the SOS case here in this piece of news. So, but in any case, though, yes, we have that news from we got that news from OTC markets. Okay. Oh, okay. SPCB targets 4. Okay, so SPCB. Okay, let's have a look at SPCB while we're at it. SPCB, Supercom Limited. Okay, let's look at Supercom. So he's saying it's targeting 4. Okay, let's see SPCB. So far 2,800 shares have crossed the tape for Supercom Limited. 18.789 million shares outstanding, market cap of $30.4 million. There isn't any fresh news we can see here. Okay, to say stocks remains in a bearish trend despite trading above 200-day moving average. Its MACD is beneath the signal line, and the overall trend of the security is lower. Comparative relative strength analysis shows it's lagging the S&P 500. So some short-term trend lines are one short-term trend line is bullish. The 50-day trend line is bullish, but the 200-day trend line is bearish. The 10-day trend line is also bearish. Mix up of things. So okay, so it's currently in between the 10-day and the 20-day trend line. So to some extent, it's trading at a discount, or rather quite a good, yeah, to some extent, yes. It can be it may be deemed to have consolidated, pulled back enough, not that volatile at the moment, so it can still be construed as having a good buying opportunity. Yeah. So we're looking at SOS here. Okay, so we just look at SPCB. So let's return to SOS. So SOS is down 5.71%. So we can see here that it is extending, even though it is down 5.71%. It's still very much bullish. That means if it's currently there, if it's currently down 5.71%, that means it was actually lower than that. You can see here at some point it was at 5.311, so it's currently at 5.45. So it's shrugged off some of those losses and slightly trying to extend. Well, there's a good chance that something might happen when the markets open, so we'll just see, fingers crossed. So but all in all, evidently, they're facing fraud charges, fraud charges filed by a shareholder, what is it called again, shareholder rights firm. So but the problem with that case is that Hindenburg and another party opened short interest in the company. So that's the question people always ask is, if you think these guys are fraudsters, why take up positions in the stock? So indeed, of course, what they're doing is not wrong. It's not illegal for them to open short interests or take any position in the stock, but that is a question that other market participants are asking them. So why short the stock? So so that's the question. So if indeed these guys are fraudsters, it shouldn't be involved at all. So that's what they're saying. So and on the other hand as well, you definitely know that with short interests, or with short interests, be it even small or not, it will be of great interest to other market participants, because it's as simple as that. The stock has locked up money in it, and that money is right there in the market. It's not on its balance sheets. It's not fixed assets somewhere. It's not all of those things, all intangible. It's all of those points. It is right there in the market. It's waiting for people to unlock it. And the way you can unlock it is by probably putting your own money to see if you can eke out some of that money. So the short interest is on SOS, and Edinburgh obviously, and their partners. They have indicated that they have open short positions, and indeed I've not shown you in this session that they most certainly do have a growing short interest here. Let's look at it. That will take us all the way back to SOS. Okay, is the pump over on which one? Prince, which one are you talking about? Is the pump over on SOS? Well, we don't know yet. Can't see what's going on. It has the short interest increased by 47%, so about 14.16 million shares are sold short, and it is saying that before now it was 9.6 million. And if we come back to Charles Schwab, I believe it's shares outstanding stands at around 18 million or thereabout, or it could be more. But all in all, there's a good amount of short interest that has been opened. So SOS, okay, yeah. I don't know when it's over. We'll see when the session resumes. So we don't know yet. Because a lot of people can't participate at the moment. A lot of market participants can't participate at the moment. So it's too early to conclude that if it's over or not. So we have about 56 minutes. That's when the market is going to open. There's a good chance that since the pump may not be over. So the question there is, okay, let's assume now that SOS are fraudsters. I mean, it could be anything. So, but the question is, and that you may have been asking, and indeed other market participants have been asking, is then why sell it? Why sell it short? Why are you taking advantage? Why are you taking advantage of these fraudsters? Why are you trying to make money now? You could simply say, okay, these guys are fraudsters. Don't buy it. Don't get involved. But once you have borrowed the stock to sell it, you have to buy it back, and it has become a good play. Forget about the fraud now, because what you're playing in right now is no longer the fraud. You're playing the money, which is what these guys have initiated. So assuming that they have called them out for doing wrong, let's applaud them for that. But on the other hand, again, they are also there to make money, and if you're making money by selling shorts, by shorting the stock, you will attract other players. Because I've been repeating myself all along. It's that a short interest, or a stock that has some short interest, is by far more attractive than the most profitable, the most competent of C-suits and all that stuff. So that's the question. So, and that is what I believe is attracting more and more people, and we have seen all of these things as well in other stocks that are going bankrupt, in Kodak, in AeroCentury. We're going to cover it very soon now. So we're seeing short interests rising on them. By the time that happens, it's no longer the fundamentals anymore. We're now playing the narrow issue that is the shorts. Because money has been locked up and it has to be made, and why would you not get involved with a stock that has money in it? So yeah, okay. So if you're a person, if you have any other thing you want us to have a look, just put it down in the comment box. Let's go ahead and see. So let's look at ACY now. ACY is the next one. ACY AeroCentury is currently down about the same amount, 6.11% currently. So ACY, in the case of ACY definitely was affected by the pandemic, the lockdown, the closing of society and all that stuff. So I'd rather travels and all that, so he couldn't make money from it, from leasing aircrafts and all that stuff. So it's now gone into a deal with its major creditor. So well, we'll see how things go. And I believe market participants they're not happy that indeed it's going bankrupt, and some short sellers have gone to take up positions on the stock. So I wouldn't say, maybe not that they are not happy, but like just like SOS, if any stock has short interest on it, even if it will definitely attract market participants. So even if it doesn't have short interest, if it's just on its own going bankrupt, that means it's likely to be retracing. People are just going to jump in for that same reason, because there's also money to be made. So yes, every century down 6.9% currently. So we were covering all the stocks before now. AVCT, we just keep on updating ourselves. Okay, so I believe it's up 33.22%. Much of this, I believe, happened in the post market of the 7th of April. So, but even at that, at some point it reached $8.179, not very far from its 200-day trend line based on this 1-minute model. So currently the momentum is also strong, but the MACD is below the signal line, because the stock, even though the stock is above its 10-day trend line and indeed it short-term trend lines, but that MACD hasn't reflected that yet. So it should reflect that now. In a few, it should reflect it though, but hasn't done so. So American Virtual Cloud up 33.22%. If you're there, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up and let's get going. So let's move on and look at very.cn Inc. It's up 39.66%. I think that's the one. It got a okay, not very.cn. I think we haven't looked at very.cn. We'll go ahead and look at it on Charles Schwab. Yeah, if you haven't opened an account with Charles Schwab, I urge you to do so. It's by far the best. The only difference between it and Robinhood is that Robinhood is by far the most popular, and has a very good mobile app. But by far, the research tools on Charles Schwab is doesn't come. No other platform comes close. When it comes to its tools. As a matter of fact, people were saying that they couldn't buy certain stocks and all that stuff. Before now. Especially those that were halted at some point. I know BLSP, people couldn't trade them at some point, but it was very much available here on Charles Schwab. So take advantage, open an account and get trading. This is not a promotion. They haven't sponsored us or anything like that. We are just simply recommending them for you. So we're having the browser is hanging a bit, so we will go ahead and try again. Okay, SOS, what do you think will happen today? Okay, so while we're waiting for this to come up, let's see what okay, SOS. Okay, well, okay, let's have a look at the short interest. You can see SOS short interest is currently at 14.1416 million shares. So I believe this is I think close to 30% of its float, so, or more. It could be more, so all in all, if people keep looking at this figure, the figures are okay. Let's see what's available on OTC markets for SOS. If people keep looking at those short interest, they don't care whether this is our opinion. They don't care whether they're fraudsters or not. you know, they will, I mean, the eyes of the people have opened since the case of what is it called? It's the case of Gamestop and all that stuff. More and more people now know, you know, so they are, when they are screening, they are also screening for short interests and all that stuff. So let's see if we can find the shorts figures here for, okay, shares outstanding. Says the float is 40.64 million. So then that 14% could be something less than that, but even at that, it's still a handy amount. So I believe, yes, all in all, there's a good chance that if people keep looking at that, the short interests, is looking at figures, they believe something is going to happen. So this is not, the market hasn't even opened yet. This is we're looking at the pre-market session, and it's only those who are privileged that can trade it, I believe. Yeah, so there's a good chance it may still extend, even if it doesn't do so today, it may do so in subsequent sessions. The fact that Hindenburg and all that short sellers are involved, you know, they can be involved in the stock, and others are just ignoring them. While they're there, others are trying to take the money off them. So it is as simple as that. So even if you retrace it today, the game is not over yet, in my own opinion. You know, unless those Hindenburg folks say no, we're done now, we're out. But as far as they are there, people assume or believe that they've made money, and we have to take money off them. You know, so that's what my conclusion is. You know. So let's see. We normally, there are places where I think short interests. Let's see on this, whether we can find short figures. Yeah, short interest data, yes. So enter the symbol SOS. Okay, no figure, no, nothing is available for SOS, but we're only trying to do that to validate what we are looking at right here on short squeeze. Short squeeze, it's saying it's 47%, and it take roughly 0.3 days, just 1 day and some fraction to cover all of those. So yeah, okay. If you're there, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Okay. So we will move on and look at we're looking at very. So let's conclude. Let's go ahead and look at VREY. Okay, we'll refresh that and come back here and look at it. VeryCity is up 43.34% currently. So if it's up 43.34, at some point it was actually higher than that. Maybe, so it closed at $10.07. So 14.85 will make it roughly 48.5%. So currently it's up 14 roughly 42% currently. So we're trying to find out if there's any news concerning VeryCity. Okay, we have it now. So thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. So it has a market cap of $149.6 million, 14.875 million shares are outstanding. There isn't any, okay, there's some, it's just indicating that the stock is on the move at the moment. Okay, so we don't have any news on VeryCity, but I believe the stock was, I might be wrong, but let's refresh again. But while we are doing that, let's see how things are up here. 42.74. So let's see if we can use a few Fibonacci levels. So let's pick it up from where it is now, 1437. Yes, so let's just do it modestly. Let's see, take the bottom to be its last bottom. Okay, so its last bottom was 1390. So we'll see how things go from here. So there's a good chance it might, okay, currently it's already up 44.33%. When the market opens, who knows, it may still not extend any further. It may not. It may just remain where it is, or just straight trade sideways, or even retrace further. So we'll see how things go. So let's see. This is where we're going to look at the. Okay, yes, indeed, it is the stock we're talking about. It's as at the close of the 6th of April, or rather 7th, or rather all the way from the 30th of March. It's presented a good buying opportunity. I think we might see it better on this model, on this daily model here on Street Smart Edge. You can always download this to sign up on Charles Schwab, and you'll be able to get this. So you can see that as this is from the 30th of March. You can see that trading below. This is the 200-day trend line. This is the 50-day trend line. This is the 10-day trend line, and this is the 20-day trend line. So this was a good buy the deep opportunity. So somebody took advantage of that, and the stock broke through the 10-day trend line. This is the daily model though, but it's still below the 50-day, the 20-day. Yes, so it's still technically a good buy, So but we have seen now that it has extended now up to 1472. So if we return to, this is not reflecting what's going on right now, so return to the 1-minute model. You can see that. So that advantage was taken care of, but others didn't notice that. So yeah. We'll move on and look at Iwmp. Immp up 13.52% currently. So let's look at the daily model. Okay, which call do you want to buy, Prince? Which call are you looking at to buy? Which of the calls? Is it SOS call, I believe? Okay, SOS call. Okay, let's quickly have a look at SOS calls for you. But yes, I'm not sure they trade options, do they? I'm not sure they trade options. Let's see. Okay, they do, absolutely, yes. They're options for SOS. So it's currently down 6.23% currently. So but obviously this is in the the options may not be really reflecting this. So well, you have to wait for the market to open or something like that, unless you strongly believe, like we're suggesting, that the squeeze or rather the interest it has gathered will still be there. Yes, there's a good chance it will still be there. So currently the price is at 540. So the next one that will be coming into money is the 550. So assuming it's going to be a volatile stock for sure, so well, if you're really going to get involved with options, just maybe straddle it, buy some straddle it, buy some calls, buy some puts, or but the stock itself is quite cheap as well. So I'm looking at what well, you might, I know what you mean. Yes, if you're trading the options, it would even be cheaper. So yeah, well, I believe the only way you can start trading them is once the market opens. So see how things go. Let's see. So we are looking at the 550 calls. So currently it has suddenly spiked because of what happened in that last session. Rose from 0.1032 up to $1 now. So well, if the market opens and it begins to extend, definitely the stock, this is going to rise further. But also, okay, this is expiring in 12 days, so it's not yeah. So if you feel free to do whatever you feel you want to do, but I know sometimes if you're trading straddles, sometimes the aim is not, I mean, there's no point, because for you to make money, you have to be able to close the losing leg fast enough, so that's in a very volatile case, because in some cases it may not be volatile, it is just you will just have a sideways moving session for that particular stock, so that will not really yield anything. So if there's volatility today, then that'll be good for options, and indeed good for the stock as a whole, so okay. So if you're there, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up, and let's get going. Let's return and look at we're looking at I can't remember what we were looking at after that. So let's get back to the 1 minute for SOS. So SOS is currently up 5.54% now. So yes, another interesting stock is ACY. It's Eurocentury. You definitely know the company was trying to, or rather has filed for bankruptcy, but short sellers have just since pounced on it, and obviously with that sort of activity, with that sort of stance, other market participants would jump in. Why not? Because there's money to be made. Yeah. So I believe another stock that had some short interests at some point, HBR. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what this CCXX means, so let's find out. HBR, whether it still has that short interest. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can buy a call today. Okay. HPR. Okay. Short interest increased by 2%. Currently stands at 740,900. So the float is 2.21 million. Prior to that, it was 725. So yes, that's quite high. Yes. Close to 50% will be 1.1. So this is more than close to 35% or thereabouts, or 40% of the entire float. So that's a heavy one as well. That's a heavy one. HBR slightly down 0.21%. Let's see whether we can get any news on HBR. I believe they may not be. It's not on the move at the moment. So while we are there, we can always have a look at the daily models and see what happened. It seems it's quite volatile. Yes. Okay. The stock is quite bearish. You see, based on the daily models, very bearish. Momentum is, it's oversold right now. It's trading below all of its trend lines. So based on the daily model, this is a buy, easily a buy. On the 1 minute model, it's quite bullish at the moment. Quite bullish, yes. So yeah, but I think the daily model is a bigger picture, so sometimes you can take the fact that it's it closed the last session in a bullish note. And also, if you also look at the daily model, it's saying that it has dipped, it has retraced, and trading at a discount to all of its trend lines. So all in all, if you sum it all up, it's definitely a good buying opportunity it has presented there. So it's saying there's no chart available. So this is today. There isn't any news. Let's refresh. Okay, we don't have any figure on high point resources. We don't have any so ignoring that, we move on and keep looking at all the other stocks we have to look at today. AVCT, American Virtual Cloud. So the market is opening in about 32 minutes. So AVCT, I think its extension occurred largely from the post market of the 7th, but because nothing really has happened. Rather, we have this for the retracement, but since that time it extended and has just been moving sideways. MACD is just neutral at the moment as well. So American Virtual Cloud is up 34.25%. So yes, earlier on we plotted some extension levels, and we began our base point was $14.34. so the stock has since extended beyond that. So very.cn is quite bullish at the moment, up 47.71%. You can see the MACD is above the signal line. Momentum is also bullish. You can see here it has broken through that 261.8 level. That's the $15.13 level. You can see that clearly. This is based on the 1-minute model. Okay, it's up now 51.89%. Yeah, currently at 50.99%. So it's quite very much bullish right now, and we don't have any news. The only news is that technically it was a good buy. You can see that from here. You can see that technically it was quite a good buy. So it was only ahead of its 200-day trend line and the 10-day trend line. So this is the 50-day and this is the 200-day. So maybe if there's some news behind this extension, it might come out later on, but we don't have it yet at the moment. So we'll look at Iwmp. Immp also got an FDA approval as well. So, but it's not so bullish at the moment. It's only getting some resistance from the 10-day trend line. Currently doing so from the 20-day trend line. So not as bullish as one would expect. So return to SOS. So the question is, will SOS continue its extension today? The extension that started yesterday, I believe, it was up 28% in that session. yeah, who knows what's gonna be. It will be interesting to see once the market opens. And we have Prince that wants to know if he can buy a call. So let's return again and look at the options. So the closest will be the 5.5, which will be the next one to come into the money. So we can always look at some other ones that are trading. I mean, let's look at the $7 one. Let's go $7 calls. That also appreciated as well. So, but with what's going on, this 5.71%, I believe this stock, this option might be down somewhere at $0.3 right now, because usually stocks options tend to be valued at 10 times the underlying. So it might be somewhere around here. So well, if you're bold enough, you can always, if it retraces, you can take the risk. All it's going to cost you is only $30. You can only buy one contract, because currently at this sort of price, if you were to enter, it is going to cost you about $60. So if indeed the stock opens and retraces, yes, you can, by all means, take the risk, and maybe buy a contract, and we have this fraud charges against Sos Limited. It may not it doesn't exactly mean that may be the end of the company. There are fraud charges and all that stuff, and a lot of falsehoods and all that stuff. So they may take advantage, or rather decide to come clean and even do things the proper way, but yeah, the stock may continue to trade, so, but obviously options are very much short term. So see how things go, see what's going to happen. So let's even look at lower levels, I mean the lower higher strikes. So we looked at $7. Let's look at $10 calls for 16th of April. So it's even much cheaper as well. So but you can see the decay was gradually eating into the stock, into the options, and decayed below the average weighted price. You can see that. So but with this 28% rally yesterday, it definitely brought it above that. So you can see it rose from 0.0, that is 2 cents, to 29. So we are talking about 10 times its value. That was what this 10-day, that is this 10 calls, $10 call options registered as of yesterday. So yes, options are good. If things are going, if there's volatility and going your direction, excellent, man. Yeah, excellent. So let's return to the 1 minute for SOS. It's currently down 6.4%. Well, who knows? It may continue to retrace once the market opens currently. So yeah, but what I'm certain is that the fact that we have Hindenburg folks still involved with the stock, if it retraces today, there's a good chance that tomorrow it might continue. I mean, the fact that those guys are still involved with the stock, you will still, market participants will continue to remain involved. So another thing is the organization, how organized are market participants, how disciplined are they to attack this. But at the same time as well, I believe the more organized you become, or you are, then it might become a bit more, or rather, the more competent you are with your organization, then it can be construed as market manipulation. But that's a whole other debate altogether, because people can argue that why not? Yeah, since you're not an insider, you can always do that. But Some others will also counter that if you are organized and doing things in a concerted manner, or trading the stock in a concerted manner, then it is not exactly, you probably should be held accountable to some extent, because you have formed an organization, because organizations that have the sort of financial power to trade, also just like you have, based on your organization, are regulated. So these are some of the debates that will may ensue. But all in all, the fact that market participants know that Hindenburg, well-known researchers, well-known short sellers are involved, they'll continue to circle the stock. And if they don't go away if they go away today, tomorrow they're going to come back. So that even reminds us, we have not even had a look at the venerable shorted ones, Gamestop. So it's currently up 44.18%. So let's even have a look and see what their short interest. Okay, we'll have a question. Iwmp. Okay, let's go ahead and look at Iwmp while we are at it. So we'll just quickly have a look at Iwmp's short interest. So it increased by 133%. So it's currently at 151.2. So 151,300. So okay, let's look at Iwmp. Immp is up 13.84%. So yeah, okay. Well, it is retracing. It has retraced. Currently trading below all of its trend lines currently. So this is based on the 1 minute model. Let's look at the daily model. Obviously, the market hasn't opened yet. So okay, on the daily model, it was quite bullish. You can see that trading above all of those trend lines. So on the daily model, the signals are bullish, although the 200-day trend line is bearish, but all the other ones are bullish. So yeah, and it's up 13.84%, up 14.15% now. So I would just simply say, just be a bit cautious, because this has already happened. The news is already out. The market has already taken up their positions. So, but we can see that it was actually higher than what it is. So I would just say, if you want to get involved, just observe and see how things go. It's definitely bullish, and I think based on this 1 minute model, it is just maybe cooling down a bit. So, but 14% is even though it doesn't look like much, it is very hot. So just observe and watch and see whether you see any whether it's going to extend when the market opens or not. So that's what I can say. The other thing there is that it's also quite cheap as well. So yeah, that's my advice. Just hold on and see how things turn out when the market opens, and see if you will be confident to jump in. Indeed, once the market opens, it could either go up, down, or just continue to go sideways and the like. So let's even try and see what it looks like on the options. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, it's taking some. Okay, there are no options for Immp. Okay, so let's return to the 1 minute model. So yeah, just observe and see what's going to happen. Immp, obviously, fundamentally nothing is wrong. So if you want to get into it for the long term, yeah, by all means do so. Even though I'm on the daily model, it's bullish, but on this 1 minute model is just consolidating, moving sideways for now. Yeah. Okay, why is SOS going down? Okay, well, what can we say? SOS is, let's return to SOS. Okay, why is it going down? Yeah, people, you know what's going on in this pre-market session. Not everybody has access to trade in the pre-markets. Sorry, in the pre-markets and the extended markets. So people are just taking money off the table, and obviously there are fraud charges. They are being accused of being dodgy. A lot of their disclosures are false and all that stuff. So yeah, and it also ran up a gain of 28% in the last trading session. So I can simply say the reason why it's dropping is because people are taking money off the table. So the reason why they're taking money off the table, it could be anything. It could also be that they want to take that money off and participate in what may become an extension once the market opens. So what this decline we're seeing now, it could, once the market opens, it could quickly be the reverse. It could look up suddenly, from continue its extension from 578. So it could be anything. It could be anything. So and yeah, it has only retraced by 6.75%. It ran up a gain of 28.28%, I believe. So I think this is expected as well. It's expected that you'll find this sort of thing in the subsequent session, a retracement. But all I can say is that when you have short sellers, well-known short sellers, it's the sort of short sellers people, all the market participants are following to counter. If you find them involved in any stock, then you'll also always find this sort of interest. So and also because amongst other things, the company is also involved in blockchain, as it were, or said it's involved in it, mining Bitcoin and all stuff. So all of those things will definitely be of great interest to market participants. So it is definitely falling amongst other things because people are taking money off the table. You ran up that huge gain, and yeah, this is what is expected. And currently now, based on this 1 minute model, you can see it's trading below all of its short-term trend lines. A good buying opportunity in the interim. So why would you not? If you were here and if you were here, if you put your money here and it extended up to here, and you could decide to take your money out and come in again from here. So yeah, it could be anything. So let's go ahead, and I think we're going to plot some Fibonacci as well for Sos Limited. So let's pick it. We can't seem to get it. Let's pick it from where it is now at 539. Currently that's where it is. Okay, never mind, we'll see how things go. We'll bring it down all the way down to its lowest point we can see, which is 533, and also yeah, we'll see how things turn out. So it's currently my I hope we have not been disconnected. So if you're there, thank you very much for joining. Give us a thumbs up, please. Give us a thumbs up. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at ACY. ACY is a recently down 5.48%. Currently bullish at the moment, based on this 1 minute model. So you obviously know is recently filed for bankruptcy, and short sellers also pounced on it as well. So yeah, so let's look at AVCT, American Virtual Cloud, up 31.5%, retracing currently So even though it's up 31.5%, it was actually higher than that at some point. So at some point it was up probably I would say up to 40%, I believe. Yeah. So currently up 30.98%, but it's currently retracing. Might be below the signal line. Momentum is flat. And let's look at the daily model. So we have about 12 minutes before the session open begins. On the daily model, you can see it's trading in between its short-term trend lines, but also below the 50-day trend line. So the 50-day trend line is bearish, but all the others I think are very much bullish. So well, yeah, this can also still be construed as a good buying opportunity, but you know, it has since, this is no longer what the picture is right now, because the stock is currently up somewhere here now, up somewhere 7.64. Let's get it, 7.64. Somewhere, this is where it is right now. So that whole picture has changed, but this can be reflected because this is only the pre-market session. So American Virtual Cloud up 31.50. So very.cn up 46.82%. You can see it retraced beyond the $15.13 level. One of the levels we plotted a few minutes ago. You can see that, and has since retraced back towards our baseline was the $14.337. So it's trading above that now currently. So look at Iwmp. Immp up 12.89%. If we put some extension levels here, we may not be able to. Okay, let's do it this way. So yes, that's the much we can do. So this is currently what's going on for Immp. So we'll come back and see how things turn out. So it's up 12.89% currently. So if you're there, thank you for doing so, for supporting us, joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. So we'll look at SOS again. That's back. We're coming back to SOS. It's down 6.75. Maybe we have extension levels and retracement levels on it, so which will tell us what's going on, because our baseline was at $5.39. So it's still very much there. So it hasn't really moved that much. Still just consolidating sideways movements and all that stuff. So yeah, not much has happened since that time. ACY, Eurocentury down 5.48%. Okay, let's also give it a Fibonacci. So we'll begin here. Yeah, here down, and we'll bring it all the way down to the last visible base, which is 11.51. Yeah. So let's also, while we're at it, while we're waiting for you to indicate any stock you want us to have a look at, we can always look at Gamestop and see what's going on with them, or with it, and all the other stocks in this pre-market session. So Gamestop is up 3.61% currently. It has retraced from this high of 188.97, currently at 184.60. So look at AMC. AMC is up also 1.83%, but still extended. Momentum is strong. MACD is below signal line. I'm wondering why. Okay, probably just a as a result of sideways movements. Nothing much going on there. Koss. Yeah, if you're there, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Give us a thumbs up if you can. Subscribe, like, and share. So Koss is up 5.41% in this pre-market session. So the session is going to resume in 7 minutes or thereabout. So yeah, in recent days, there are other stocks that were really hot. So let's see what they are doing. BRPA, Big Rock Partners acquisition up 0.83%, not very much. EUIQ, Elite Education International, down 3.89%. Bluebird Bio is up 0.07%. Passion Square is up 0.92. Tencent Music up 1.48%. And Faster Pharma Inc. unchanged. ZK International Group up 2.58. Asia Broadband is unchanged. So let's return and have a look at SOS. That's the most popular at the moment. So it's currently down 6.57%, and still hasn't changed very much. Still very much at our baseline. Still very much at our baseline, yes, which is our starting point or our focal point, which is $5.39 or roughly 5.40. Yeah, thank you. We got 2 likes now. Okay, so any new hot stocks? Yeah, I think the hot stocks are the Avct, very Iwmp. They are quite hot, but obviously if they're hot, then they may not be presenting a buying opportunity. So that's another thing. That's the downside of it, so stocks that are currently trading below maybe their trend lines, maybe the intermediate and short-term trend lines. They are, yeah, even though they may not be hot, but they are definitely it is safe, I believe, to buy them at that sort of point. So, but indeed, if you're looking at hot stocks, so we'll begin with Avct. That's one hot one, currently up 28.06, but there could be more. And very.cn is up 47.81. That's another hot one. And this is only in the pre-market, so the market will resume in about 3 minutes. So they may get hotter. Some of these gains probably came about from the post markets. So the thing about very.cn is that, okay, yes, it's also a good case of buy the dip, I believe. So look at what happened, for the best part of how many sessions. You can see that this is the 200-day trend line. This is the longer term trend line. So the stock was trading below, let's even say below the radar. So you can see that below. It tried for some sessions, was getting some resistance from that 200-day trend line. So it was really cheap at this point. So but somebody now said, oh, okay, I'm gonna jump in, and they started jumping in from the 30th of no, not the 30th, sometime in April they started buying, and today now it's up roughly 50%. So it's currently at $15 now, which is not even on this scale, because this scale is a daily model. It hasn't reflected what's going on. So this is definitely a good case of buy the dip and see and hope that something positive comes out. So you can see that now it has our focal point for this retracement, this Fibonacci levels, was $14.37, and it has since extended beyond the $15.13 level now. So we have not found any news concerning the stock. There might be some news somewhere. Okay, we can actually go ahead and look at its short interest. There might be something there. That's also something that is some news, that can move things. If it's there, then why shouldn't you be involved? So we can see it decreased by 17%. Currently it's only 16,000, and its float is about 2.15 million. Okay, that's another thing as well. You can see the float of the stock is 2.15 million. Let's see if we can validate that. We can see if we have a different take on that. Okay, 14.875 million is the float shares outstanding. Okay, so this is not very much as such, but it's take about 4 days to cover all of those based on its average volume. So yeah, but in any case, we have not found anything that is behind the varies rally. Okay, so you want to know if more buy SOS. Okay, so SOS, let's have a look at SOS again. Yeah, if you're there, give us a thumbs up. Thank you. So SOS is down 7.61%. This is from the closing price of $5.78 from the 7th of April. So because what we are right now, okay, the market is going to open in about a few seconds. So we'll see. We will remain here and see how things turn out when the market opens. But it's suddenly getting very busy. You can see that the market is open now. See, it's retracing. So it's retracing, dropping down seriously. Let's uncheck these boxes. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's down 7%. So the options will also be getting cheaper. They will be getting cheaper and cheaper, and so down 8.48%. So it's currently retraced below our retracement levels. Currently now trying to consolidate, cooling off a bit, down 9.52%, but it's trying to recover some of those losses. So I believe at this point the options will be, let's have a look at them, see what's going on with them. Yeah, don't panic, don't just panic buy. Okay, that's the spirit. Yes, don't panic. So you can see the 550 calls has also retraced itself. So let's look at the 10. This is one we looked at earlier on. Let's see the 10 calls. So it's retracing seriously, down 10.55%. I mean, this is expected. The stock ran up again of 28.8% or thereabouts. So this is what happens. We're not getting any data for the 10 calls. let's bring it up to 850. Let's see if we're going to get any figure. No data, so let's return to the 550. Okay, we have some figure, but you can see it retraced from that $1.0145 to 0.57. So yeah, we'll see how things go. So let's return to the 1 minute model. You can see now it's been consolidating for some time now. We have three likes. So yeah, don't panic. Volume 311,000, 357, 360, 385,000. It's gradually inching up a bit, but the MACD is definitely below the signal line, indicating that yes, of late it has been bearish, absolutely been bearish, no doubt. Momentum is also, it's currently oversold at the moment, so this is buy the dip opportunity as well. You can see trading below all of its trend lines based on this 1 minute model. Yeah, SOS down 9 point rather. Okay, it's trying to claw back some of those losses. So let's I think we're going to remove this Fibonacci levels. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. So we're looking at SOS is currently down 9% now, so we'll see how things go. It's definitely clearly the opportunity is there. That is if you're brave enough to jump in. Momentum is flat at the moment, so it's definitely indicating that maybe the well, indeed, it could even be short sellers. You know, it could be. This is all right. Okay, this is, I wouldn't say, because much of what we're looking at right now happened in this gap is very much or pretty much what happened in the pre and the post markets. So so that will be reflected in this, in the chart. So but further, some more gains or some more losses were occurred as well. So but currently we are seeing that it broke through the volume weighted average price, so currently moving sideways now. So we'll see. Yeah, there's a few more hours left in this session. So yeah, and the case concerning SOS is that even though there are fraud charges against the company, but you know, the other case is if you have these cases against the company, why short the stock? Why why do you get involved? It's it begs the question. If you think this company is fraudulent, they have falsified information, they have not disclosed information, they have not told the truth about their operations, and all sort of things. And then you still go ahead and take up short positions in the stock. So you're there to make money, and it begs the question. It's a bit dubious, so it's as against if you're pointing out that SOS is not, they're fraudulent, they're fraudsters, they're doing all that stuff, and you're saying you just simply don't get involved, but you have gotten involved. You have and by taking up those short positions, I'm talking about Hindenburg here, then they will definitely attract other market participants, and especially this is the post Gamestop era, so a lot of people are now aware of short interest and short selling and all that stuff. So yes, even if you think you have the evidence that they're fraudsters, but while we still have your short interests and short positions, and then you will continue to attract short sellers. So that's the criticism of short sellers and the Hindenburg and their like. So currently SOS is down 8.74%. so while we're at it, we can look at all the other stocks that were hot previously, hot in the pre-market session. Avct, American Virtual Cloud, is has sustained some of those gains. It's currently, you can see that all of these occurred mostly in the pre-market, so it's currently moving sideways now, getting some support from the 10-day trend line. They're all very much bullish. So we look at VRY, very.cn. Okay, it's halted as well. Okay, trading halted, up 62.08%. So we didn't find anything concerning very.cn's short interest, and I'm wondering why they're halting it. So, but in any case, though, it mustn't be about short selling. So it's currently up 60.02%. If you have any news concerning this stock, very.cn, then you let us know. I know that Avct has a bid to buy the company at $9. So nothing is going on now for very.cn, halted at the moment. Yeah, we have 3 likes now. If you're there, give us a thumbs up, man. Give us a like, and let's increase that count and get going. So let's look at Iwmp. Immp is up 10.38%. Okay, it's was higher than that in the pre-market. So the next one is Acy-Gme. Century is down 13.49%. So okay, let's before we look at other stocks, we'll have a look at SOS again. It's down 9%. Getting some support from the 10-day trend line and the volume weighted average price. So let's look at Gamestop. Gamestop is up 0.94. EMC is down 0.82%. Koss-April is up 1.54%. Grok Partners up 9.11%. So internal general insurance down 2.2%. FG Financial Group down 4.28%. NanoX Imaging Limited up 2.41%. Chembio down 0.05%. Excel Browns down 0.48%. Kelly Services down 10%. Yeah, 4 likes. Yes, thank you very much. Let's get going. DMYD. DMY Technology is down 4.48%. MOXC in China. MOXC in China is down 1.73% currently. So let's look at BLSP. Blue Sphere is down 24.2, or rather 18.18%. That's a huge decline. HCMC is unchanged. ABML is down 0.99%. HYSR, Sun Hydrogen, up 0.83%. ASTI, Ascent Solar, up 2.64%. China Solar and Clean Energy down 39.33%. Renewable Energy Solutions down 36.92%. So next one will be CWSFF. CEDO Waste Solutions up 1.49%. So let's return to SOS. That's the stock on demand, down 8.65%. Yeah, thank you. Just thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. If you want to have a look at any stock, just go ahead and let us know. So we are currently looking at SOS. It's down 9.24%. So obviously, you know the case. They have fraud charges brought against them by a shareholder rights law firm on behalf of shareholders. So, but the question is not about that lawsuit. The issue is that the research folks, the Hindenburg and their like, after disclosing all of these, they also took short positions in SOS. So by doing so, they have attracted a lot of interest, because amongst other things, by selling the stock short, they have also locked up money in the stock. So if you know the stock has money in it, why would you not get involved in it? So it makes it attractive, regardless of what is going on fundamentally or their like, or otherwise concerning the stock. So it's currently down 9.68% from the previous close. So we will go ahead and look at other stocks. We'll go back and see what's moving. So if you're there, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. we'll come back here and look at the markets. We'll find out some of the stocks that are very much hot at the moment. So we're already seeing some of them. See, let's select price increase. So you can always, once you sign up on Charles Schwab, you have all of these tools available to you. The research tools are awesome. They're by far the best. So we have very.cn. We have looked at that. It's up 90.85%. Is that the case? Let's look. Very. See, yes, it is. You can see it's seriously extending. I believe it was halted at some point, so but the halting did not check the stock. It has continued to extend. That is interesting. So we have other ones. Let's see. Okay, we have that already. American Virtual. Okay, so we have this, but it's not it's a warrant. So that's Dogness International. It's quite a cheap one. Let's have a look. Dogs. So let's remove these extension levels. Dogness International. Okay, it's up 13 point roughly 14%. So it was actually higher than that. It was currently at some point it was at $2.4861. So it's currently at 2.13 right now. So we might be able to find out what's going on with Dogness. So 8 million shares have crossed the tape so far. Okay, so it says reports 24th time surge in China e-commerce sales, led by expanded smart pets product line. Okay, so it sells for pets and all that stuff. So okay, pet fashion retailer. So let's see. So as at the 5th, it was as at the 30th of March. You can see that it's trading below all of its short and intermediate trend lines. You can see that. Even all the way back to the 24th of March. Clearly a good buying opportunity that was missed if you didn't get involved. And at that time it was at $1.71. Currently it's at $2.2. So yes. Dogness up 14.43%. So let's have a look at all the ones. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up if you can, and subscribe, like, and share. So there are other ones. I believe there's Rise Acquisition, but it must be a Spark. Okay, Hall of Fame is only up 2.65%, not a lot. Okay, we have this Upcom up 51.92%. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, that it's in the subsect of diversified telecom services. So today the price reached a 52-week high of $11.55. This exceeds the previous high of $9.25 by $2.30 and is 440 4.81% above the 52-week low of $2.12. Okay, volume also spiked as well. It says trading volume exceeded the 10-day average of 3.512 million shares by 187.91%. Price crossed above 50-day moving average as well. Price broke through the 50-day moving average of $7.81 on above average volume. Market cap of 598.7 million. So there's some news here. It says update today. It says network gear maker Upcom said on Thursday, which is today, it will be taken private by private equity firm GI Partners for about $900 million. Okay, $900 million. So, and it has a market cap of 598. So yes. As for the deal, Upcom stockholders will receive $11.50 per share. So what is Upcom trading at right now? Let's see. We'll get the price. It's currently okay. So that has already been reached. That has been reached already. So it presents a premium of 52% to the closing share price on Wednesday. The deal is valued at $1.1 billion, including net debt, and is expected to close the second half of 2021. Upcom makes products such as telematics devices, modems, and cellular wireless SIMs. GI Partners is an investor in data infrastructure businesses. Upcom said it could look for alternative acquisition proposals during the 30-day go shop period that will expire on May 7th. Okay, so that's the news. So we go ahead and look at all the stocks. While that is loading up, we'll come back and look at SOS. So SOS is now down 11% now. So fingers crossed, things could change. But yeah, never say never. It's been moving sideways, consolidating. Yeah, at some point it actually extended to $5.37. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's screen for more. Okay, let's look at Auris Medical. Auris Medical Holdings up 18.94% currently. Market cap is $41.4 million. 12.87 million shares outstanding. Auris Medical to provide business update on AM301 program on the 13th of April. Says a clinical stage company dedicated to developing therapeutics that address important unmet medical needs in neurology, rhinology, and allergy and CNS disorders today announced that it will provide a business update on its AM301 program for protection against airborne viruses and allergens on Tuesday 13th of April 2021. Following the announcement, Auris Medical Management team will host a live conference call and webcast at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that is what is driving Auris Medical. So let's look at the stock AEEAS. So yes, Auris Medical is up 22%. Currently very bullish. All the trend lines are bullish. MACD is above the signal line. The momentum is also high and surging, so it's accelerating right now. So let's update again with on SOS. SOS down 11.11%. Yeah, if you're there, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you. So you can see it's gradually momentum is building up again. MACD is above the signal line. So let's look at other stocks. VCNX. VCNX down 2.16%. CRMD. Comedics down 2.25%. Forest Road acquisition down 0.01%. AG aerial systems up 1.55%. Palantir is down, or rather up 0.26%. Yes, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Let us know any stock you want us to have a look at. Put it in the comment box and we will have a look at it. Energos Corp up 1.77%. So BF, ARF, Bitfarm down 1.02%. So we have another blockchain stock that those hidden bug guys have sold short. It's the Riot blockchain. It's currently up 5.452%. So yeah, JKS, Jinko Solar down 0.28%. Six Flags down 1.1%. Capstone companies are up 4.1%. Alpine 4 Holdings unchanged. Let's not forget SOS. SOS is still down 10.55%. Yes, it was actually lower than that. If that is going to be if that can be a consolation. So Bain Biotech down 1.88%, trading below all of its trend lines based on this 1 minute model. Let's look at the daily model. What's going on with it? It's also trading below its short-term trend lines, all of its trend lines. So Momentum is flattish. So let's have a look and see. This is a stock that's, is presenting a buy the dip opportunity. It's yes, it is. That is CBBT. CBBT is okay. Says the readout says CBBT appears to be improving within a longer term uptrend, although it's presently below the 200-day moving average. That average is rising due to prior gains in CBBT shares. Additionally, MACD histogram, which used to be a measure of the near-term trend, is above zero. It is like in the S&P 500. Momentum for CBBT is strongly bearish. The 14 period slow stochastic oscillator is below 20, the level which many analysts call oversold. This means that investors have been actively selling shares, driving the price lower. Volume as measured by the unbalanced volume indicator is falling and therefore bearish. This is because volume has been greater on down periods than on up periods, implying that sellers have been more active than sellers. So I think yes, if it keeps on behaving this way, it just keeps on presenting a buying opportunity. You can see that, you can clearly see that, trading at a discount to all of its trend lines. So yeah, I'm only saying it's clearly a buy the dip opportunity. You can take the risk and take advantage of that. But currently now it has just broken through the short-term trend lines. But based on the daily model, it's definitely a buy. Technically, because we don't exactly know what the fundamentals for the stock are, and we have not done any due diligence on it as well either. So thank you. We have 4 likes now. Somebody make it 5. Thank you. Somebody give us another like so that we can make it 5. 5 looks more like it. Definitely better than 4. So if you just there, spare us another like, please. Thank you. So let's look at ALY. Alternate Systems Inc. up 5.64%. You can see what's going on right now. Just getting some resistance from the 10-day trend line, but roughly trading below all of them as well. It's trading below all of those trend lines, but above the 200-day and 50-day based on this 1-minute chart. So Alternate Systems up 5.64%. So let's keep ourselves abreast of okay, see SOS is up now. It has clawed back some of those gains gradually, a bit slow about that. Up 9.52%. At some point it was 11%. If that will help. So let's look at SRMX. Saddle Ranch Media is unchanged. FBC Holdings is up 17%. WNBD. Winning Brands is unchanged. US Energy Initiative down 9.09%. Bit Frontier Capital is up 0.9%. LTC Properties down 0.07%. IS Holdings Inc. is up 1.93%. Charge Enterprises unchanged. Solar Integrated Roofing down 5.71%. 50 Meters Inc. is up 2.8%. 2050 Meters Inc. rather. Extel Inc. is up 2.1%. So let's go back to SOS. It is clawing it back. You can see that. Up 7.8% now. Okay, somebody's saying, what's your opinion on SOS stock? Okay, so should we buy SOS or do a put? Okay, so okay, we have 4 likes now. Somebody make it 5, please. Okay, so you can see. Okay, if you want, I would say this if you want to get involved with the puts, I'm not sure because quite frankly, the stock has already retraced, and I don't know how much you are going to make from that, unless you believe the stock is definitely going to retrace further. It's going to decline further. Then I don't exactly know which direction it may go. But all I can a lot more comfortably say is because it has retraced by, you can see 8.8%. You might want to say maybe it might even extend. It might begin to claw back some of those gains, and it has done that. But nothing stops it from even declining way beyond that 11%. So, well, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you feel confident about that, you can buy the puts. You can also if you buy it, you can also, what I can say is, maybe just observe and watch and see how things are going, to see if you can straddle it with calls as well. But it's quite volatile. Yeah, not so volatile. It hasn't been that volatile since the opening of the session. Even up to now, it's still not that volatile as such. So all in all, much of the movement that occurred took place when the market opened. So since that time, nothing. Yes, some movement has occurred. Roughly 3% extension now, but I think it's still very much dull at the moment. So if you want to buy puts for SOS, let's have a look at the puts. Yeah, we got 5 likes now, so yes, thank you very much. So we have let's update it. So yeah, as you can see, it has extended. This is where it was on the 7th after the close. It has extended from that to 8527. So yeah, so but currently also you can see that this put is currently bullish at the moment. So would you want to buy something that is hot at the moment? Would you not want to buy it when it's cold? So who says it could still retrace further and add more value. But yeah, I can't really say which direction is going. But I mean, all of what we have seen so far is that it has recovered about roughly 2%. It's 2% out of the 11% so far it has lost. So it could be any direction, to be honest. So, but one thing else I can say is that if you are going to get into any of those positions, be ready to react by probably maybe buying a call to secure to lock in your position, just in case the reverse begins to occur. Okay, so we are currently, yeah, we're now down 9.7%. so the call has added some more value now, so we might see a change. Not seeing anything, no. Yeah, so yeah, so if nothing happens today, I can't say that for sure nothing is going to happen tomorrow, because what I am quite sure about is that the fact that it has short sellers still involved, Hindenburg and their like, it will continue to attract a lot of attention, because these guys have put money in that stock, in SOS, and the money they put there is not in the bank accounts remotely from what the markets, the money is in the market, so it's not very far away from you. With the push of the button, you can get involved with the stock. So that's why, that's why you are involved in it. So even though the fundamentals are getting complicated because of the disclosures these guys have found out, but by putting their money, by shorting the stock, they have now created two issues: the due diligence issue, and also the short interest or the market activity issue. So currently people are not trading. I don't think people are really trading that. They are trading the short interest. They want that money. They want some of that short interest money. So that's what we are looking at right now. Yeah. So yeah, we'll quickly go ahead and look at some of the other stocks that were hot earlier on to the Avct. American Virtual Cloud is up 21.49. It's been just moving sideways. You can see that from the MACD as well. No, very much neutral, sideways. VRCA is up 93.7%. At some point it was halted at 66%. So we don't have any news concerning this stock. So look at Iwmp, up 6.29%, also moving sideways. It was up 13%, but losing some of that now. Euro Century down 13.49%. So we return to SOS. Okay, you can see that it's gradually clawing back some of those gains. You can see that. So yes, it's getting busy here on SOS, gradually getting busy. Okay, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, you will always it's only time will help you understand more concerning options and all that stuff. But and also sometimes you may not really know, you may not be able to understand some of you may not be able to learn some lessons without actually put in your own money, so it will cost you money to actually learn. In some cases it may not be enough to just watch, observe, and probably digest the data and all that stuff. By the time you get involved with some money, not a lot of money, just a small amount of money, and see how things go. So as it concerns Sos Limited, so which is what we're looking at right now, you can see now that it has, at some point it was trading at 11, it had a loss of 11% at this point. So it has since probably recovered 4% of that. So currently it's still very much bearish at the moment. So what I can say is, maybe if you wanted to buy puts on Sos Limited, maybe the best time would have been when it was rising yesterday during that session. You would have probably taken the risk and bought some puts. By today we would have been up maybe roughly maybe let's say 25% or thereabout, or 15%, based on what we saw when we looked at the put figures. So so currently now that opportunity is not, in my own opinion, is not very much there. So it's the best time usually is when there's a retreat, when there's a retracement, and you take advantage of that and see if it's feasible at that sort of level it has retraced to buy. And then when it has extended, like it did with SOS, extended by 28% in the last session, at that sort of point, you can see, this is really expected. It had a run up again of 28%. It's expected that today maybe it will pull back a bit, and that is what it's doing right now. Now, amongst other things, which it includes the short interest issue around it. So it's if you want to get involved, just once it extends, if there's an opportunity from that extension for you to maybe sell the puts and all that stuff, yes, you can look at it, and if you're confident, you can take the risk. Then when it declines, especially below its short and intermediate trend lines, okay, maybe the short-term trend lines, then some opportunity would have arisen. Then you might decide to buy the stock, or indeed buy calls, they're like. So yeah, but the best teacher is to get involved with your own money, and with money you can always afford to lose. So yeah, so SOS is gradually clawing back some of those losses. It the 11% loss it had earlier on today, so it's gradually creeping up. So currently down 6.77% now. Earlier it was about 11%. You can see, even though the MACD is definitely getting bullish, you can see that it's now above 0 and above the signal line. Yeah, so yeah, if you're there, thank you very much. We really want to get this likes up to 10. Can we get another like to make it 6, please? Somebody give us another like so that we can get it up to 6, please. Somebody give us one more like so we can gradually count up to 10. At least we'll be happy if we get it up to 10. So if you're there, give us one more like, and let's see how things go. So there's a tussle here now. It's now down 7.87%. We'll see how things go in this session. Okay, so SOS is retracing again. So while we're still there, we'll go ahead and look at other stocks. KMPH. We're gonna definitely come back to SOS. So KMPH down 3.35%. Ovid Therapeutics is up 0.8%. Transcenterix is unchanged. We don't have the correct ticker for that. Oxygen is down 1.16%. It was actually higher than that. It opened high. You can see that. 7.309. It has retraced now since that time. WMC. Holdings is unchanged. Super League Gaming down 1.91%. Tangier Factory down 0.43%. Clean Energy Fuels down 3.55%. Northern Genesis Lion Electric down 0.18%. Kroger is down 0.46. SOS is okay. Yeah. Now currently down 8.11%. So there's some resistance going on, resisting the extension that was sought earlier on. So SOS down 8.3%. So we'll move on and see other ones. TTC, Toroko down 0.01%. Sienna Corp down 0.27%. DraftKings down 0.48%. MOXC China down 2.16%. Gamestop down 1.28%. Second Sight Medical Pro up 3.98% and extending. Sci-Fi Technologies is down 0.29%. Fujian Genetics is down 1.86%. Humanigen is up 0.36%. Calon Petroleum is down 5.61%. Marathon Oil currently down 2.51%. Kinexa Pharmaceuticals down 2.46%. Waiter Holdings is down 0.72%. Cetera Inc. is down 1.26%. Kaizen Auto Holdings is down 2.38%. Adaptive Biotechnologies up 4.65%. Agli Biotherapeutics down 2.17%. Adaptive Biotechnologies is currently up 4.71%. New Beginnings Acquisition is down 0.49%. Cara Therapeutics down 0.23%. Radnet Inc. down 3.93%. Medicinova down, or rather up 0.21%. Greybuck Vision up 2.57, rather down 2.57%. So let's look at let's return and look at SOS, see what's going on. Okay, SOS down 7.61%. Yeah, SOS just pretty much moving sideways, but trading above all of its short and intermediate trend lines based on this 1 minute model. So let's have a look at what's going on, what happened or what has been happening in the 5 minute model for SOS. So it's currently now down 8.11%, or rather roughly 8%. So this is the 5 minute model, and in this it is trading in between the 10-day and 20-day model, sorry, trend lines, but also below the 50-day trend line. And in this case the MACD is below 0 and also below the signal line. So this is just the 5 minute model. So let's look at the 10 minute model. Okay, and in the 10 minute model it's trading below all of those short and intermediate trend lines, but above the 200-day trend line. So let's have a look at the daily model and see how things are there. So okay, in the daily model, you can see it's still very much technically a buy. You can see it's just converged with its 10-day trend line, but you can just even roughly say it's below all of its trend lines, if that will help. So okay, let's return to the 1-minute model. Yeah, it has retraced a bit further now, so getting some support from the volume weighted average price and the 50-day trend line. Momentum is currently flat. The MACD is also getting bearish as well, because we have seen that the stock has broken through its short-term trend lines now, broken through the 50-day trend line, so it's getting bearish right now. So the tussle is going on. Yeah, if you just joined us, thank you very much. We want to increase our likes to 6, so if you can spare us just a thumbs up, it's not gonna hurt. Please do that for us. Thank you, and thank you for joining us at all. Thank you very much. So currently the most popular stock we are looking at right now is Sos Limited. And you may have heard that they were accused of deceiving investors. So there was a case was opened against them, and as a matter of fact, the law firm is urging people to get involved. That if you were affected by their activities, you can always come and sign up and all that stuff. So I think on OTC markets, yeah, let's see OTC markets. So let's look at SOS news. No, it took us to somewhere else. So that's it. That's the news here. It says yes, if you were affected by them, you can go to their website for more information. It says for more information. Okay, so if you suffered a loss on your SOS investments or would like to inquire about potentially pursuing claims to recover your loss under the federal securities law, you can submit your contact information at this http://www.glancylaw.com /cases/SOS Limited. Okay, you can see all of those details on the screen here. So what is it again we wanted to have a look at? Okay, so yes, we also have some of these SPRWF. So let's see what they're all about. Appreciated by, it's a cannabis stock, 51.89%. So yeah, let's look at this. It's a SPRWF. Oops, no, SPR. Okay, I got it wrong. SPR. Supreme Cannabis. Okay, extended. I believe this extension was in the pre-market. So because we haven't seen anything, no movement yet. it's been moving sideways. So let's look at the next one, which will be DVCR. Diversicare Healthcare up 25.44%. Okay, it seems it doesn't have a lot going on. It has been maybe quite a recent stock, maybe. AXFF rather. Acy-Gme Minerals Limited up 8.23%. WDDMF. WebMD Inc. up 17.02%. BDCO. Bluefin Energy up 12.43%. So we return to our SOS up, rather down 9.34% now. Yeah, if you're there, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a thumbs up, thanks, and let's get going. So SOS is currently, yes, pretty much moved sideways, even though at some point it had clawed back up to 4% of its losses. So currently now it's facing some resistance from the 50-day trend line. Yes, volume weighted average price, that's where it is currently. Okay, rather, yes, getting some resistance there, and I think currently at the 50-day trend line, so it just fluctuates between those two trend lines, but it seems it's moving sideways now. Yeah, Sos Limited down 9.26%. You must have heard that a certain law firm, that's the law firm here, that's the, okay, how we closed it, we have brought fraud charges against them. Yeah, so they're trying to help investors who lost money to see if they can claw back their losses. They believe SOS deceived people with false information and disclosures and stuff like that. So yeah, and then the Hindenburg research folks also opened short interests on the stock. That's another issue. They themselves, the Hindenburg folks, did the due diligence, and they have since gone ahead to take short positions on SOS, which is why a lot of market participants are involved in SOS today, because amongst other things, they short interests attracts people who want to make money, attracts market participants who want to make money, simply because with a short interest, money is locked into the stock, and that money is in the markets, not in the company's cash or balance sheets. It's right there in the market, and for you to get involved, to get a share of that money, or trade in the wake of whatever that is going to result as a result of the interest, as a result of the activity, so that's why you get involved, and probably that's why you're here. Yeah, so it's nothing really, it hasn't been that dramatic on SOS today. It's just been moving sideways. Yeah. So let's look at other stocks. ABBV, American Battery Metals, is down 3.62%. HYSR, Sun Hydrogen, is up 0.86%. Healthier Choices is unchanged at the moment. Quite volatile, you can see. Keeps on fluctuating between 0.001 and 0.0011. MX is also unchanged. Ascent Solar is down 5.28%. MDM Permian is down 12.77%. Momentum is flat, MACD below the signal line, and it seems also bearish as well. Koss Pharmaceuticals down 1.68%. Galmed Pharmaceutica is unchanged at the moment. Triteras Inc. down 2.12%, rather up 2.12%. Oh yes, we've got 6 likes now. Thank you very much. Yes. Let's get going, folks. So let's return to SOS and see what's going on there. We don't want to be far away from it. Currently down 9.55%. So yes, okay, it's started to retrace again, down 10% now. Oh, 7 likes. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, folks. So the battle is on to see who's gonna win. So while we're at it, we can look at some of the stocks that were very much active in the pre-market today. Avct. Avct is up 20.65%. very.cn was okay. At some point it was up 100% or thereabout, 92% I believe. So it's currently now has retraced a bit down to 77.14%. So at this point I believe it was at it may have been at 90 something percent. Yeah, so it's, yeah, I believe this is when it reached almost 100%. So yes, Iwmp, it's at some point it was up 13%, but it's up only 5.97% currently. And yeah, those were the 3 stocks that we noticed that were quite hot in the pre-market. So Asia Broadband up 4.55%. Let's look at the daily model and see what's going on. Yeah, it's quite bullish on the daily model for Asia Broadband. Bayport Holdings up 9.8%. Hall of Fame up 0.85%. All of those are daily charts, daily models. So we return straight back to SOS, so we don't go far. SOS down 9.55% currently. I2 Biopharma is down 0.41%. The 9 Limited up 4.84%. Shift Technologies is up 1.93%. No data there. Iwmp is up 2.01%. Context Logic Inc. is down 1.19%. up 6.82%. Data Nexus is down 0.1%. Peloton Interactive up 4.54%, trading in between its short-term trend lines. So let's return to SOS. SOS down roughly 9.95%. Avio Pharmaceuticals is up 2.06%. Rush Street in Interactive down 1.35%. Pinduoduo Inc. is up 1.67%. Futu Holdings is up 2.238%. Ver Biotechnology down 0.11%. Organigram Holdings down 0.95%. Bumble Inc. up 1.5%. Asana Inc. down 1.27%. Fossil Group Inc. Down 1.61%. Hydrogen Systems down 1.3%. SOS down 10%. ANCM. Got that wrong, I think. So momentum is still strong on SOS. But MACD is reflecting the fact that the stock has been moving sideways for some time now. SOS down 9.90%. So let's look at the options and see how things are going there. Let's look at the puts has they have added some value. Let's look at the calls. Okay, so it has retraced from roughly 1.0145 down to 0.5 right now. So 50% retracement. So and that is below its 10-day trend line. So yeah, if you want to take the risk, you can always go and get in now and buy. It's going to cost you about $50 to buy one contract. So let's look at the 650 if there's anything like that. 650 calls. 650 calls are going to cost you $30 to get in one contract on the 650 calls for the 16th of April expiry. Let's look at the 7 and see. 7 will cost you $25. Let's look at the 10 and see. The 10 will cost you $12 to get involved. So, but even the extension it had as at the 6th of April, as at the 7th, the extension it had is even still there. So it ran up again from here, from 0.0 roughly 0.0 roughly 3 cents to 20 roughly 30 cents, so almost 10 times, but it has still retraced down, but still higher than what it was at that as at the 6th, as at the close of the 6th of April. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's look at let's see if we can find even options way below. You can see this is the 1250 calls for the 16th of April. So yes, as at the 5th of August, at the 6th of April, it was at roughly 0.03. So it would have cost you only $3 to get involved. And since it extended to $1 point, so 0.1541 and has retraced to 0.07 right now. Interesting. So let's return to the 1 minute model, see how things are going. Yeah, so it's currently down 9.52%. So yeah, okay, so we are going to take a break. We will endeavor to return either with a live stream or just other forms of updates concerning SOS and indeed other stocks. Thank you very much for being there for us and participating in this live session. It's getting a bit erratic here. Let's see before we cut off. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen. It was getting a bit erratic, so we just decided to postpone our departure. So you can see now, yes, it's extending, getting getting volatile. Yes, extending, getting some resistance from that $5.30 level. Quite bullish now. The MACD is above this signal line currently. Trying to break through that $5.30 level. Yeah, at some point it has actually done that at some point during this session, so it wouldn't be new. Resistance at the $5.30 of late. Momentum is also very strong. MACD is currently above 0 and above signal line. So the wheel, I think, is there to extend the stock. You can evidently see that. MACD, so the 20-day and the 10-day trend lines are currently bullish at the moment. The long-term 200-day trend line is currently not in the picture at the moment. Okay, retracing now, getting some support from the 50-day trend line, broken through now. Next level will be the volume weighted average price and the 10-day trend line. So yeah, we will definitely try our best to update you concerning SOS as the session progresses. Thank you very much for joining us in this session.